Topic Tuesday to you. For Topic Tuesday today, I am going to discuss slash review the L'Oreal Visible Lift Blur products that I purchased and hauled a little while back. There was a I think I Instagrammed a picture of them and then showed them in a haul, and there was a resounding please give us your opinions on them. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do for you guys today. The first thing that I want to talk about, and I will insert clips of me applying them while I'm talking to you as well. So the first product that I want to talk about is the foundation itself, and this is what the packaging looks like. I appreciate that the packaging is in a, not a pump, but a squeeze tube. Nice, compact. I think it is. It's 1.3 ounce. It's a little bit more than your standard foundation. This foundation comes in 12 different shades and sells for $15. At least at Walgreens where I purchased it, $14.99. I did look online on like L'Oreal's actual website, and it looks like it's listed as $14.99 on there as well. I just feel like that's a lot of money for a drugstore foundation. At any rate, let's go ahead to be applying it. And I have tried multiple different ways to apply this foundation, from my F80 to like a dual fiber brush to the Real Techniques buffing brush I've tried a bunch of different ways. And the way that I really ended up liking it, so to speak, was with my fingers. I am definitely one that likes at least a medium coverage. And with this foundation, the only way that I could do that was with my fingers. If I used a brush of any sort, even when I tried to layer it on top of itself, I didn't get the coverage that I was looking for. So as you can see, I kind of, you saw I did half of my face to kind of show you the coverage and that sort of thing. And I don't feel the need to use a brush after it to get it to blend in, because it does seem to blend into the skin very well. But now this is sitting on my face. I did not put any powder over the top of this, which I normally do. And you can see that while it does seem to even out the skin tone, and I think the longer it sits on my skin, within the first hour, I like it a little bit better. You can probably tell I'm not in love with this. I actually will probably return. I just don't find that it gives the kind of coverage that I'm looking for. So that's the first thing. I really don't like the coverage of it. I think that within a matter of 3 to 4 hours, I start seeing it just completely disappear. And that is with something setting it and without something setting it. And now for any of you that haven't been around a little bit, I have very dry skin. Having said that, I don't feel like when I would have a little dry patch here or there, I don't feel like it clung to it or anything of that. I always use a primer with it. I always use a primer with everything. So I generally, unless the product is said that it can work without a primer, I don't ever test without a primer. So I don't know. It's not my favorite foundation in the whole wide world. I need things that are going to last for me at least 8 hours, preferably longer than that. And this is not something that will last 8 hours. So I don't know that I like this or recommend this in any way, shape, or form. You can see, I think, on my skin that it looks like it looks kind of fresh. I think kind of fresh and clean and glowy, but that just doesn't last. I'm telling you, it does not last. Okay, let's move on to the concealer. So the concealer is in the same kind of squeeze tube like this. It comes in 3 shades. I have the shade in Fair. This concealer comes with 0.6 ounces, sells for $12.99. That's really expensive in my opinion. However, I was looking at my CoverGirl Depuffer, and this one, I think this one sells for, well, I'll list it because I don't actually remember. But this one only has 0.34 ounces in it, so this is almost double. So keep that in mind. Just saying. I still think it's a lot of money for a drugstore. But at any rate, so the concealer, and I'll insert here me applying it. The concealer, you can see that it gives a very nice coverage beneath your under eye, and I also like it to just give a little bit added coverage because it's somehow seems to, and it doesn't claim to do that, but it seems to kind of adjust a little bit. And I will wipe off the brush and blend it down a little more, and I will also put a little bit on my cheek. My left cheek always is a little bit redder than my right cheek, so I'll put a little bit down onto there to just kind of calm that down a little bit. But this is a nice concealer. Of the products, this is of the 3 products that I have from this line, this is my favorite product. Probably the one I will keep of the 3. And I like how it blends out. Now, one thing to note with this, and you can see I use the Real Techniques buffing brush, or the setting brush, and that is my favorite brushes of all of my concealer brushes to apply it with. And that one helps to really smooth it out, because if you get too much on, it's definitely going to collect in your fine lines and wrinkles. And I feel like any concealer will do that, but this one, you know, it truly does. And the one thing I have to do is that with this, which is something I do with some of my other concealers, is I wait a little bit, you know, go onto other parts of my face, go back, and then I almost always have some in lines and wrinkles that I need to kind of, you know, pat out and wipe away once, and then it's gone. So that's, you know, not something that I just think that is a case of me putting on too much, or I don't know, but I almost always have to do that with most of my concealers. So except for the MAC Pro Long, where I don't have to do that with that. But I like this. I recommend it. I find it to be not moisturizing, but it's not drying either. And it doesn't really cling to, you know, when I get a little bit drier under there, it doesn't really cling to those either. So they both seem to have that kind of same technology. The last thing that I want to talk about is the blush. I was really disappointed in this blush, I have to tell you. It looks like, again, it comes in the squeeze tube, and it is also, this is 0.6 ounces as well. And you'll see as I apply it, I ended up, again, I tried many different brushes with this. Usually with any cream brush, any cream blush, I like to use my e.l.f. small stipple brush. So I ended up not being, it would just almost completely make it disappear. So I can get it to appear on my cheeks, and I have not added any more blush onto this. And you probably can see that there's not a lot of color there. And it's not in my lights, there's just not a lot of color there. And that's what happens, it just kind of disappears, and you can't really build it up. I don't know, it's kind of strange. It is that kind of moussey sort of texture to it, but I don't know. So I don't like it on its own. I did like using it to build with another blush on top of it to add some longevity. So it does seem to work in that way, which is how I actually use most cream blushes. I don't love a cream or a cream to powder blush. They are my absolute favorite sort of blush, but this one, in order for it to do anything for me, I guess, I had to, I have to layer on top of it. So actually, when I'm done with this video, I will put another blush on top of it. This sells for $12.99 as well, and there are 3 shades available. The shade that I've applied is in Soft Peach, and I do like the shade. I just wish that I could get the shade to show up a little bit more. I'm looking in my mirror here because you can barely see it. It's kind of sad, but at any rate. So those are the 3 Visible Lift products, or Visible Lift Blur products that I have purchased and used from L'Oreal. I tried these out. I think I've had these over a month now, so I did give them a really fair shake, I think. I'm generally not one that's going to buy something, use it a couple of times, and review. I like to really put my all into reviewing products and give them a fair shot. So if you have any questions or I missed something, feel free to go ahead and list it below, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. So you obviously know what's on the base of my face. My eye look today is my first look. I'm working on 4 Looks 1 palette with the Kat Von D Monarch palette. So more on that in that video. And on my lips today, I have MAC's Watch Me Simmer, believe it or not. And I just kind of put that on as a stain, and then I muted it out with Revlon Bellini to kind of get the shade that I was looking for. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!